this is a little reminder of what we're doing, what the goal is. So this is the old skid plate pushed right up against the bolt holes. Here's some of the new one. So you can see how much you gain with the new plate, and like, in addition to it being twice as thick with the TerraFlex plate, but you're gaining all that. That is a lot of space. And that's with this plate pushed all the way up. You know, normally when you're getting suspension lift, you're also putting in a 1-inch spacer here. So if you were to drop this down a whole nother inch, it shows you how much clearance you're gaining throughout this project, why we're doing this. So you have the option of when you get your TerraFlex belly pan, it comes with these spacers. So it's 5/8 inch spacer, which is designed to be able to be mounted underneath here. And it's got the bolt on it, but it mounts underneath this and gives you the lift that you need there on the engine. When I broke off this bolt on here, I decided that you know, I'll just go ahead and do it right and do the full 1 inch. And also knowing that probably 1 inch would give me a little better angle for my driveline angles. And maybe I'll get into and explain those driveline angles. It's something that can be a little confusing. You got your engine here. You've got your, this is your engine mounts. You have your transfer case mount, transmission mount, which is held by your transfer case, and then you have your rear axle. So those are the 3 points you're touching. So if you're going to raise this one, you got to raise this one. So you keep this somehow, you know, somewhat even. So you're raising this one, so you got to raise this one. And then most likely you're also going to have to raise this one. Now you don't raise that one by somehow changing your suspension, you raise this one by tipping it. So you're raising your engine mount to make up for the fact that you're going to want to raise your transfer case mount so that you can still line up here. So you go up here so that you can keep that angle, going towards the back. So what you're looking at right here is the difference between the original motor mounts and this one, which is a Brown Dog Offroad motor mount. These are extremely nice. These guys are the best company. I ran into a little issue with mine. On the two sides, this one's on the driver's side, and this one's on the passenger side. The passenger side, for some reason, on the 91 has an extra little drop down, and unfortunately, as you can see, I broke the bolt off trying to get it off. It's a tough thing with these old Jeeps. So as I was working on this, you have the two sides, and then discovered that once I got them out, I got these ordered, got these set of these in, that these did not fit into the bracket on the passenger side that fit into the onto the motor, and called up Brown Dog and sent them some pictures so they could see what I was looking at, and discovered that the mounting bracket on the 91 apparently was very weak according to Brown Dog, and a lot of them broke. So the one that was on mine actually was a later version, and so it required a different mounting kind of layout on it. So they actually made a new one for me and sent it out, and I had it in a couple days, and so I just kind of had this extra one left over. I'll put some pictures in there so you can see the bracket, and it has a different little cutout, so it just wouldn't slide all the way in. The rubber mount. Obviously with these you have a really large rubber mount with this protective metal around the outside. It gives it the engine a lot of room to move. As we know with our four-cylinder, it's the four screaming squirrels. So there's a lot of vibration. So these do a decent job of isolating that vibration. You can get this in a urethane, but I went with the rubber, and I'm glad I did. There's definitely more vibration felt, like at idle, in the car than there was with these mounts. And the motor mount being the very first step that you take when you're doing all the steps to get the belly pan lifted up and get that tummy tuck done. One of the first things you're going to do, though, before you start taking the motor mounts out and everything, is you want to come in here and you want to remove the bolts for your fan, because as you move up the fan, the motor, the fan is obviously going to move up. It's going to bang into the shroud and everything. So just easier, move this, unbolt this first. You don't have to remove it, just unbolt it first so there's room to move. Then you can jack up the engine, install the new mount, or remove the mounts, put the new mounts in, get that all squared away, take the jack away, and then you'll know where your fan is going to end up, and you can adjust your shroud. Not too difficult to do. There's some play in here. You may need to shimmy it around or put some spacers in, or you just got to play with that a little bit to get it just right. Mine actually worked out just fine. I just had to slide it up a little bit, and it worked out great. So that's kind of the one trick, other than using a nice big board underneath to support the engine while you have the mounts removed. The other trick is only do one at a time. So do one mount and then do the other mount, and that way the engine can't move around, cause you any problems with alignment. But really, this is kind of an easy job, and the first one that you're going to do. And from here, once you get this motor mount lift, then you can start working on the body lift, and that's going to be step 2.